Good morning, or afternoon. It's afternoon here. My name is Matt, and I thought I'd do a puzzle. I have a bunch of videos on this channel. This may be the first one that's listed, so if you're watching this, thanks for watching. I wanted to do a puzzle this morning. I went on Cracking the Cryptic, which is one of my favorite channels. Actually, if you go to my personal website, they're linked as one of my favorite channels. And I selected one of these at random, pseudo at random. The title of the video is called Very, Very Approachable Sudoku. So hopefully that means it's easy. I have to take my cat to the vet here in about an hour. So let's see if we can speed run this and make it a 30-minute puzzle. So I looked over the rules beforehand too. So normal Sudoku rules apply. And there are thermometers, so numbers must increase from the bulb end to the end of the thermometer. Cages show their sums. An X joins two cells that sum to 10, and a V joins two cells that sum to 5. So it looks something like this. And with that, I guess the clock is running. It is 2:17 on February 6th. I probably have to leave here at about 3 o'clock for this vet appointment. So we're already 18 seconds in. Let's just try to run through this. Okay, so these three numbers, they all are in the same box, which means they all need to be different, and they all need to sum to 6, which means the only options are 1, 2, and 3. Those are the only numbers less than 9 that are unique and sum to 6. And since they must increase from the bulb end to the tip, we know that this needs to be 1, 2, and 3. That was kind of fun, some confetti. Same concept down here. The sum has to add to 7. There's only one combination of numbers that adds to 7. And that's 1, 2, and 4, and we know the order that they go in because they're increasing. Okay, what else? These are pretty long. Let me look at this. It says numbers increase from the bulb end to the end, the bulb to the end of the thermometer. Right, so what you're tempted to do is something like, how would I do this? 5, 6, 7, 7, because these are in different boxes. So I'm at least tempted to make them. The rules make it seem like these also need to be unique, like the numbers along the thermometer need to be unique. So I think that this has to be a different number than this. And since there are 6 bulbs along the thermometer, the only real options are like something like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I mean, maybe they're in a different order, but they can't start with 1, 2, and 3. And I think that what this means is that this needs to be a 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, that's the only way. This is the only way this is going to work. I actually skipped a box. I should probably do this one too. So it's the same concept as down here. There's only one combination of 5 numbers that are less than 9 that add to 15. It's the smallest numbers. There aren't any boxes that use the largest numbers. So if there were 3 boxes that added to 24, for example, we'd know they need to be 7, 8, and 9. But this definitely needs to be a 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Except these two can't be 4, and this one can't be 5. So the 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 in this cell, or this square, I don't actually know the terminology here. They must appear in this little backwards S shape pattern. What that means is that this needs to contain 6, 7, 8, and 9. Except this can't be 6 or 9. This can't be 9. These two can't be 7. Okay? This can't be a 6 because the numbers need to be increasing here, right? So you can't have this be 7 and 8 and then this be 6. So this can't be 6, and this means that these two together need to be 7 and 8. And that means that none of these can be 7 or 8, so there's not going to be any 8s in this. There's going to be a 6 and a 9, and they need to increase. So this needs to be a 6. Excuse me. This needs to be a 6, and this needs to be a 9. Okay, can we do some similar trick down here that we did with the big thermometer up there? I'm tempted to. So what do we know? We know that these two numbers need to be less than 7. This could be 1, 2, 4. Ooh, I'm tempted to put in these two. All right, so these have to add to 5, but I can't use the number 4. So the only thing this can be is 2 and a 3. And I'll again use a color to say that this is locked. It's locked in the sense that the 2 and the 3 must go in these two cells, and they could. Oh, and you know what? There's an ordering here too. The smaller number needs to go first. So this is going to become a 7, and this is going to become an 8. And now I'll remove the colors. But maybe what I should do just for this this concept of locking is put the numbers. Put those in color too. We definitely know what's going to need to go in those cells. Okay. So where does the 1 need to go? The 1 needs to go here, because the 1 can't go in this column. There's a 1 here. But it also can't go in this column, which means the 1 needs to go here. Definitely a 1 there, and then that means that the 1 down here needs to go here, except it can't go here. So one of these two has to be a 1. There can't be a 1 along this thermometer, but there also can't be a 2, 3, or 4 along this thermometer. That may not be super, super helpful. Have to figure it out. These two have to be less than 5. But yeah, let's do this. Let's do this too. By the way, I'm just now noticing that the name of this puzzle is My First Puzzle. So good work, Rohit. This has been fun so far. Is there anything else? Okay, so how did we do this last time? Well, we know that the numbers that can go in this need to be 1, 2, 3. I'm not going to write them all out. They need to be, the minimum that this could possibly be is 3. The minimum that this could possibly be is 3. This means it can't be a 4. And it can't be a 5 either. Because if this was 5, then I need 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And 10's not a good number. So this must be 3. This means U2 can't be 3. And then this, okay, I'm on board with this. The 3 can't go here. It needs to go in one of these two. Okay. So hopefully, all right, so now these need to be increasing. So what are the numbers that need to go in this column? 1, 2, 3, 4. There needs to be a 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. Except there's a couple of things. So these can't be 5s. Oh, excuse me. You can't be a 5. You can't be a 6. You can't be a 7. You can't be an 8. So this needs to be 6 or 7. Okay, you can't be 7. But you also can't be 5. I'll get to that in a second. Let's just remove the ones that we know because of some other rule. So this could be, the 5 can't go here because then I would need a number less than 5. In fact, the 5 can't go here either. Okay, a 6 can't go here because then I would need a number less than 6 here. So this can't be a 6. This can't be a 9 because of the fact this would need to be a number greater than 9. This can be a 6 or a 7. This can be a 6 or 7. This can't be an 8. But I could have something like 7. I guess this can't be a 7 either. So this could be 5, 6, 8. It could be 5, 7, 8. It could be 6, 7, 8. You could use the 9. But I think that's what we have for this. And then this means that this number needs to be less than. Okay, but now the deal is that this needs to be a 6 and 7, and these two can only be 6 and 7s. So these two are locked to one another too. Putting a 6 in here makes this a 7. Putting a 7 in here makes this a 6. So this can't be 6. This needs to be a 5. Good job, Rohit. This is actually a lot of fun. We're 7 minutes into the puzzle. I still have a lot of time before this vet appointment. Okay. So this can't be a 5 anymore. Boop, boop. Made some progress. I could still, and this can't be a 7 either. Excuse me, this can't be a 7. So these two are also locked. The colors, I really like, so if you go on my personal website, do I pause the time? I'll just take a minute, even though this is not my personal website. Let's go to my personal website. If you go to my personal website, you go down to links, you'll see that I really like this YouTube channel, Cracking the Cryptic. They give me all the best puzzles, but they all use, for the most part, this website, Sven's Sudoku pad. I guess this is app Cracking the Cryptic, but it's related to the Sudoku pad. And it's a really great site. I like it a lot. All right, but now that the little endorsement is over, let's still figure out what we have to do. So 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So let's just do some thinking. So this can't be a 9, which means this needs to be an 8, which means this needs to be a 7, which means this needs to be a 6, 5, 4. Okay. Okay, now these two can't be 5s. This one can't be 4. Do we have anything? Okay, so now this needs to be, the 1, 2s, and 3s need to go here. Let's use a different color. Okay, now this can't have 1, 2, or 3. No 1s, no 2s. This needs to be a 4 and a 5. Okay, the 4 and a 5. This makes some sense. The 4s and 5s are down here. 1s are down here. These need to add to 10, but I'm not allowed to use the number 4. I'm not allowed to use the number 3. I'm allowed to use the number 2. I'm allowed to use the number 1. So this could be a 1 and a 9. This could be a 1, 9. Can't be 1, 9. You know, it could also be a 2, 8. Okay, but this can't be 8 or 9. So there needs to be a 1 or a 2 here. 1 or a 2, not necessarily both of them. This needs to be a number that's less than 5, but can't be 4. So this can only be 1, 2, can't be a 3 either. So this can only be a 1 or a 2. This can't be, Made a lot of progress on this puzzle so far. It's kind of a 5 or a 9, right? So what's the minimum it could be? It could be 4, 6, 7, or 8. 4, 6, 7, 8. This can't be a 6, but this also can't be a 4. Can't be a 4 because of the fact that nothing could come after this. This can't be an 8 because nothing would come after this. Okay. Are there any rows or columns we're close to? One of these has to be a 9. One, 3, 5. Okay. Da, 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 da. Ooh. I think maybe I said this at the beginning of the video, but this may actually be the first published video on the channel. I like to speak out loud when I do puzzles, which means it's kind of fun to record them. I don't really know if I'm speaking to you or to myself, but okay. Okay, so the 6 in this, there's 2 6s, right? So then the 6 needs to go here or here. It's just a passing thought. Is there anything like that we can do? Okay, so now the 9 needs to go down here or here. 9 must go there. 5s, yeah, we're pretty good on those things. Can't be a 4 in this thermometer, because there's a 4. Yeah, forget about these 4s for a second here. There can't be a 4 in this thermometer anywhere. 4 has to go somewhere here. This couldn't be 8 or 9 anyway. The 1 has to go here, so this could be 2, 3, 5, 9. That's a possibility. It's a possibility. I feel like We've entered into the can't find the solution zone. 1 couldn't go here anyway. So the 1 in this needs to go down here someplace. Okay, so how about the 4 in this cell? The 4 in this cell, it can't go in, it can't be in either of these two. It also can't be here, which means the 4 needs to appear in one of these 3. But I don't know if that's super helpful. Do I just click around? Maybe for a speed run, well, the beginning was a little bit speedier. Let's see. There's the same thing here, where one of these needs to be a 5. No, maybe that's not true. Because if this was a 5, this can't be a 5. So where can 5s not go in this cell? 5s can't go here, here. This can't be a 5, because then this would need to be a 6, right? But 6 is already, we already know where the 6 goes. So these 3 can't be, these ones can't be 5s. The 5 must go somewhere here. I wonder if we could do the same thing somehow with another number or 2. I'd clear some things up. How about this area? All right. So we know approximately where the 1 goes. We know where the 2 and 3 goes. We have 4, 5, and 6. So then the question is, where does the 7 go? So the 7 can't go here. It needs to go here or here. 7 must go there. How about the 8 and the 9? So 8 and 9 can't go here. I think this means this needs to be a 7. But let's just think about it. So where does the 7 need to go? Where does, maybe that's not the right question. What can this be? Well, it can't be 1, this cell. This cell can't be 1, it can't be 2, it can't be 3, it can't be 4, it can't be 5, it can't be 6, and it can't be 8 or 9. It must be a 7. Okay, so that got us a little bit further. So now this has to be a 6, which means this has to be a 7. And we can remove the colors because we've figured out how to unlock those two. Big unlock. In this row, there's a 1, a 2, and a 3. They're going to come in some weird configuration. I wonder if this means, can this be a 2? This can't be a 2. Because if this was a 2, then there would need to be a 2 here, and there would need to be a 2 down here, and those two would conflict with one another, which means this one needs to be a 1. This one needs to be a 9. Oh, I could have fixed that earlier now that I think about it. But that means that this one can't be 1. This one can't be 1, so there needs to be a 1 here. And since there needs to be a 1 here, this can't be 1. This needs to be a 1. Okay, a lot of progress. A lot of progress. Still kind of want to focus on this one. Okay, so where does the 9 need to go? It needs to go here because it can't go there, and then this needs to be an 8. And now we've got 3 numbers that go in these cells and that need to be increasing. So what needs to go in this cell? It can't be a 1, 2, or these 3. We need to fill out the column, but we're not allowed to use 1, 2, 3, 4. We need to use 5, 6, and 9, and they need to go in that order because they need to be increasing. So this needs to be a 5, this needs to be a 6, and this needs to be a 9. But then this can't be a 9, which means this needs to be a 9. And now one of these two needs to be a 9, and it needs to be that one. Are we done with 9s? We're not done with 9s yet. I need to put a 9 in one of these 2 cells. No, I don't. I need to put a 9 in this cell because the 9 can't go anywhere else. So this needs to be a 9, and this needs to be an 8. These 2 are now unlocked. Okay. So now with 9s, this has to be a 9. And I think that we've done all the 9s in the puzzle. I think. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 nines. Or 81 total things. Okay. Cool, cool. Made some progress. How about like 8s? Any insight on the 8s? Okay, well, what needs to go here? It needs to be a number that's less than 5, but it can't be 4 and it can't be 1. So this needs to be a 2 or a 3. 2 or 3. Which makes some sense. The 2 in this column, the 2 here must go in one of these two. Because it can't go there. So this needs to be a 2. Or there needs to be a 2 in one of those two. 1, 2, 3, 4. What are we pushing off to the side here? So is there like 5, 9, 1? Okay. So some of what we have with 6s is filled in. So for example, the 6 that goes down here needs to be in one of these two cells, right? But then the question is, could this be a 6? And it can't, because if this was a 6, then this would need to be a 5, which means you need to be a 6. Now you need to be a number greater than 6 that is not 9 or 8. It's only one of those, and that is 7. So what are we missing in this cell? I've got 1, 2, missing a 3. I'll fill them in. 4, we're missing a 5, and we're missing an 8. And the funny thing is that the 5s can't go here. I don't even know why I clicked that. The 5 needs to go here. These two are locked to one another. I'll use a different color. This must be a 3 or an 8. That means the 3 or the 8 must go in these two, but this needs to be an this needs to be an 8. This needs to be a 3. And now 1s can't go here. This needs to be a 1. This needs to be a 2. 3, a 4. 5, and a 6. Okay, so this needs to be a 2. Excuse me. These are all locked to one another. I don't know if I should put the colors in or not. I'll put the colors in. Because it's obviously locked. There's only 3 cells left. It's not super enlightening, this insight. Okay. In this, I don't see anything. Well, one of these two needs to be a 3. Okay. One of these two needs to be a 7. Can I do that again? And one of these two needs to be an 8. Okay, so that means that this goes 7, 8. 1, 2, 3. This has got to be a 4, 5, and a 6, except the 5 can't go here, so the 5 has to go here. And this needs to be a 4 and a 6. These are locked. The colors are just kind of for fun. They add a lot of time to the puzzle, and they don't they're not super helpful, but they're just kind of fun. So now the 4 in this square, this region, needs to go somewhere over here. So one of these needs to be a 4. Oh, but it can't go down here. Cool. So we know where the 2 goes. We know where the 1 goes. We know where the 4 goes. Do we know where the 3 goes? We know the 3 must go in one of these cells. How about the 7? The 7 needs to go in one of... 7 can only go in this cell. And I think that wraps up our 7s. Am I right about that? Nope, there's still one more. It's you. 1. Okay, so now you have to be a 2. I don't know why I didn't see that earlier, and this needs to be a 4 and a 5. There's no conflicts that I can see. Are we done with 7s? We're done with 7s. What am I still missing in this? I'm still missing a 6. The 6 needs to go here. Am I right about that? Because the 6 is... Oh, I'm not missing a 6. That could have been a disaster. But let's keep going. So can this be a 3? This would need to be a 2 or a 1. We're close. We're close. We're only 20 minutes in. This has been a fast puzzle. I promise I did pull it up and look at it, but I promise I didn't like do the puzzle beforehand and cheat in some way. All right, so in this area, the 5 must go either here or here. Oh, 5 must go either here or here. But if this was a 5, then this would need to be a 6, and this can't be a 6, so this can't be a 5, which means the 5s need to go here. The 5 goes here. There's only one of these 5s, which means this needs to be a 4, which means this needs to be a 5. You can remove the colors, no matter how fun they are. So what do we've got? 3s are definitely in one of these 2 rows, and the 3 is definitely in one of these 2 rows, which means the 3 needs to go here. There must be a 3 here someplace. Let's actually think about this. So what is in this column? We're missing a 1. A 1 needs to go someplace in this column, but it can't go here, which means the 1 needs to go in one of these 2, but it can't go here. So this needs to be a 1. Now this needs to be a number in between 1 and 6. So maybe it's a... I won't focus on it because now I know that the 1 needs to go here, right? This can't be a 1. Right, are we done with 1s? 1s? We're so close to being done with 1s. Pretty much we are, actually. So the 1 needs to go here, which means the 1 needs to go here. So again, we'll remove the colors. This now needs to be a 2 and a 3. 2 and a 3. Are all the 1s in the puzzle? All of the 1s are in the puzzle. What's not in the puzzle? 2s. Difficult time with 2s. 3s. Difficult time with 3s. How do we do this down here? I think yeah, this needs to be a 3. And now this can't be a 3. So this needs to be an 8. This needs to be a 3. Now this needs to be a 3. Okay, and if this needs to be a 3, then this needs to be a 2. And I think this needs to be a 4. Okay, and I think that means that this needs to be a 8. Yes. This row looks pretty complete. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is the missing piece in this puzzle. 1, 2. 2 can't go here. It's got to go here. 1, 2, 3. This has to be a 4. This has to be a 3. This has to be a 2. This can't be a 3. It's got to be some other number, which means this needs to be a 3. And if that needs to be a 3, then this needs to be a 6. So what do we have left up here that we have to fill in? So this can only be a 2 or a 4. I add that 2 back. Delete the 6. 1, the 2. This needs to be a 2, a 4, or a 6. But there's a column. There's a column that's full. 1, 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 makes this a 6, makes this a 4, makes this a 6, makes this a 2, makes this a 4, and now in the across, we're just missing a 2. Okay, and now this needs to be a 3. This needs to be a 2. I screwed it up. But I also solved it. So, that was a lot of fun. And it looks like I'm going to make my veterinarian's appointment. That was an easy puzzle. 10,000, 11,000 people have solved it in 2.2 days. And, it's publicized on Cracking the Cryptic, which means everyone's trying it. I think when you see a puzzle with 11,000 solves, that usually means it's easier. A lot of the other puzzles have a couple hundred solves, and they've been around for, months. So that was fun. Great. Well, thanks for watching. Maybe I'll record another video later. We'll see.